you a rat. My brother. Twin, you a pet.
So y'all heard that, right? Oh no, let's run it back twice and then run the paperwork, cause he said my brother. Come on.
I don't want shine. Brother, you a rat. My brother. Twin, you a pet. I don't want shine. Brother, you a rat. My brother. Twin, you a pet.
So let's look real quick. State of Georgia versus Quintavious Greer, aka Funk. He say, I'm a member of the Goodfellas gang. I became associated with and / affiliated with YSL in 2019. So not the inception. On or about April 3rd, 2022, I discussed with a YSL associate securing protection for another YSL associate at the Fulton County Jail. On or about April 14, 2022, I, along with another YSL associate, discussed harming an inmate at the Fulton County Jail because I believe the inmate harmed another YSL associate. During the April 14, 2022 conversation referenced in Section 5.1, Section 5, sorry, I also discussed using a drone to fly illegal cell phones in the jail. Oh my God. I will possess no guns during the term of the sentence or any time thereafter unless my rights to do so are restored. I will commit no criminal acts. All statements below are truthful. YSL, otherwise known as Young Slime Life, is a gang. Then it says during April 12, 2000, and no, we can go, all right, we can go down. All statements below are truthful. YSL, otherwise known as Young Slime Life, is a gang. Some identifiers of YSL are wearing green, wearing clothing with the words YSL or slime, wearing pendants displaying the letters YSL or the word slat. One of the colors of YSL is green for slime. YSL uses several hand signs, some of which are wiping the nose with the index finger, curling the ring and pinky finger inward toward the palm while extending the index thumb with the middle finger slightly curved. Then we keep on going. Language of YSL includes slat, which means slime love all the time, calling each other blood, or slime. Symbols that YSL use includes green heart, green snake, blowing the nose, green vomit emojis. I have personal knowledge that members and associates of YSL have committed at least one of the following acts alleged in indictment 22 SC 1835-72: murder, aggravated assault, robbery, theft, illegal gun possession, and illegal firearm possession. That is insane. I understand that if I violate this plea agreement, the district attorney can and will use this statement during any judicial proceeding, and I am subject to having the entirety of my sentence revoked to prison, which actually happened. I understand that any violation of this plea agreement may result in my entire sentence being revoked, and the district attorney will recommend that I serve up to the maximum sentence allowed by law in the Georgia Department of Corrections / prison. Then it says right here, I understand that any violation of this plea agreement may result in my entire sentence being revoked, and the district attorney will recommend that I serve the maximum sentence allowed by law in the Georgia Department of Corrections. No promises, agreements, or conditions have been made other than those set forth in this document, and none will be entered into unless memorialized in writing and signed by all parties. This is 3 or 4 plea agreement, State of Georgia, Quintavious Greer, aka Funk, indictment 22 SC 1835-72. I, Quintavious Greer, have read and carefully reviewed this agreement. I fully understand this agreement. No promises other than those contained in this document have been made to me in furtherance of this agreement. I freely, knowingly, and voluntarily enter into this agreement without force, threat, or coercion. Quintavious Greer, dated December 20th, 2022.
No card reader? No problem. Jim's got you covered. Accept any payment, debit, credit, Apple Pay, or digital wallet.
Let me make sure I say this so that at least I'm consistent and y'all don't try to kick my butt or slander me over this crap. As far as Gunna's plea deal, it ain't as bad as that one. Funk's freaking plea deal is horrible. Bruh, they threw everything with the kitchen sink at him. Now, I will say this. Once again, his plea deal didn't hurt anybody. The plea deals that were signed by essentially everybody with the exception of the ones who came to testify did not hurt the case. And I know some of y'all be like, well, damn, Caddy Nash, you said all this stuff about Gunna and you jumped out the window at first. Yeah, because what Gunna did was lame. He took a superpower away in Sadao. Just is true. But just because it's lame doesn't mean that he snitched. I'm no longer going to call Gunna a snitch, but what he did was wrong. And in the eyes of the streets, that is snitching. In the eyes of the law, it is not snitching. So it doesn't really matter. If you think he snitched, you think Funk snitched, hey, all of this stuff. But right there, if Gunna's a snitch, Funk is a snitch. It just is what it is. So I don't want to hear anybody try to deviate or anything like that. Funk did something that was lame too. Bruh, you sat in there and sat in that cell for years, for decades essentially, and you came home. Now, what I will say in Funk's defense, which I don't have to do, bro, I don't really know nothing. Yeah, all right, they talked about some jail stuff, but he don't really know nothing on the outside. If he would have known anything on the outside, cats would have been talking on the phone. Then to top it off, to make everything even worse, let's just keep this all the way authentic. This case was trash from the jump. Those people who took the plea deals, we don't know what would have came out on them in order to destroy everything. There was more stuff that was going to come out that would have made a whole lot of people look really, really bad. Now, if I'm Young Thug, do I forgive my brother and move along? Yeah, but if he don't, I get it. But in my opinion, as long as Young Thug essentially ain't in prison, ain't in jail, don't do anything to jeopardize his freedom and all this crap, he's good to go. That's just me. But if he wants to say, you know what, there's certain things that's just unforgivable, I wouldn't 1,000,000% understand. I wouldn't know how to feel if my brother if my brother signed a plea deal against me, essentially, because you gotta remember, Thug is the head. Everybody else is beneath him. They call him King Slime and say people are terrified to testify against him because he will kill them. That's what they're saying, or what they did say. So I 100% get it. But if Young Thug feels some type of way about his brother, then so effing be it. Sorry for the mic hit. The mic is right here, y'all. If Young Thug feels some way about his brother, then so be it. But at the same time, bro, life is short. Everything is cyclical. We don't have that long, and you just gotta live and go. And it might hurt his heart. That might be what it is. He might be operating like, bro, my heart hurt. I can't believe my brother did this and all that. And if that's the case, then that's the case. I don't know